Derailment 18 months later, still a process. A lot of people don't want to be on camera.
Fire trucks came out of nowhere, places I never even heard of.
We had video from one of our cameras back here. You just saw this brilliant flash, like it just lit up the night.
Third division in town, would you say, or no? I just got kicked out by security. But she knew my name somehow.
Here's that for you.
So that's East Palestine Small?
Yeah.
We had our air quality tested, we brought our kids home, we're good.
It's almost like a walk back to the 90s feeling here, and that's in a good way.
I still don't trust it. And it'd probably be like that for years. I don't care what anyone tells me on that.
How's the government done with this situation?
What's going to happen in 5-10 years in our health? Do we stay here or do we go? I don't know.
The derailment happened there. It's our next stop. Good morning, guys. Almost 18 months ago, the train derailment happened in East Palestine, Ohio. We all saw the visuals of the fire and smoke in the air, the chemicals in the water, the people leaving town. But what is East Palestine like now, since the cameras have mostly gone away? So today we're gonna go 45 minutes west over the Ohio state line, get into town, walk around, and talk to whomever wants to talk on camera to get a better understanding of what the current situation is like. Let's do this. Here we go, Ohio border. And that was a beautiful countryside right up into East Palestine. And here you can see contaminated soil, I'm guessing. We're gonna find out. And else over there. Saturday, mid-afternoon, bit hot out, 86 degrees. Do the East Palestiners come out in this weather? I think this is the center square, center of town. Let's take a left. A lot of American flags. Here we go. We got land of the free, home of the brave, East Palestine, Ohio. Looks like some new paint on the buildings, some old joints here. Your quintessential countryside town. So I've been outside of Pittsburgh the last week, north of Pittsburgh, between here and Pittsburgh basically. And the people are extremely friendly. Everyone smiles, not everyone, but most people, you go into a store, they smile at you, they keep the doors open, they're interested, they want to talk. You guys from town?
Yeah, I live here.
What was it like when the train derailed? Do you remember?
I remember seeing fire and smoke and stuff, and then I live near it, so I ran down near my church and I could see the flame just up.
Just trying to go back.
Everyone's trying to forget about it.
Yeah, trying to go back to the way it used to be.
Okay, what did it used to be?
Like, just quiet. Everybody knew each
Or
other.
widespread
Like,
panic, different places.
Okay,
Yeah.
Are you guys sick of people coming to town?
No, it's not that bad.
But
anymore.
it's
I
not.
don't take it
I don't
personally.
mind it. Part, like, you get down.
So you're saying there's some people in the park, you think?
It could be, yeah.
Yeah, they'll talk.
All right, guys, all the best.
See
Take
ya.
care. Closed business next to the Environmental Protection Agency office. EPA Community Welcome Center. That's not gonna happen today. How you doing, ma'am? You don't want to be on video, but your neighbor Candy, you're saying might want to talk.
Yeah.
Okay. You got a nice street here, ma'am. Thank you. Yeah, and I don't blame people. A lot of people don't want to be on camera. It's usually like they really want to be on camera or really don't want to be on camera. Candy and Lenny from East Palestine, correct? Do you remember the night when this happened? Was it?
Actually, we were in bed. We heard the fire trucks.
Yeah, we
But-
didn't hear any wreck. Just all of a sudden, all these fire trucks came out of nowhere, and they were everywhere from places I never even heard of. Walk outside, and you start gagging from the smoke. It was really bad.
Smoke cloud from the fire?
Yep.
So that was above the clouds from an airplane.
Right. 16 states are affected by this train derailment.
And you're
So-
talking it clear up into Michigan. down in the Carolinas, pretty much
Canada.
East Coast. Yeah, Canada.
So there was a fire, and then a few days after, they burnt one of the cars, right?
5 cars.
5 cars. And that was just to, what was the reasoning for that?
They blew it up to vent the pressure in it to keep it from blowing up and causing a major catastrophe. So they instituted it on their own.
Okay, so they were in a bad, there's no good out of that one, and they had to just...
No, the NTSB hearing proved that they should have never burned it.
National Transportation Safety Board.
They said they shouldn't have done that. Norfolk did that? It wasn't the EPA or Department of Transportation or anything?
Norfolk set it up, and they talked our fire chief and mayor into going along with it, saying it was the best option to do. So after they did it, they laid it back on the fire chief and the mayor, saying, well, they said go ahead and do this. But they have, they have no idea what it was. They don't have college degrees in chemicals and stuff. They're just regular people.
So how's it now? Back to normal, or what are your thoughts?
They keep finding pockets of vinyl chloride.
That's what was in the train?
Yes.
Vinyl chloride?
Yes.
Which makes like PVC piping, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
what they parked. I work right out where the train wreck was. So we were back to work 3 days after they blew up the cars. It was so bad, you walk in and you start feeling it, you have a hard time breathing. My throat was raw. My sinuses are all messed up. Like, hey, it's safe to be in here, I can tell. Well, they told me I got stage 3 liver disease now, or kidney disease now, that I didn't have 6 months ago. It could be from what I do for a living, because I'm a welder.
You're a welder, okay.
Could be because I smoke, could be because I have high blood pressure, could be...
No. I've been looking at your medical records. I am a detective.
Kenny's a detective. Okay, you get to the bottom of things. So, okay, for example, if you're concerned about your health right now, is anyone helping with treatment?
No.
There's nothing set up where you could go get a checkup? Really?
Oh,
You can get a checkup, but there's only so many tests they'll do. Some tests that they don't even do because they know what they're going to find.
They'll do the basic blood work, but not for heavy metal, or they're not allowed to say anything about chemical exposure, nothing. That's, no.
Okay, so you feel like you guys need more medical attention. You'd feel better if there were some resources for getting a full checkup, deep dive checkup,
Yes.
to make sure you're okay from what happened.
Yes.
Is that what I'm gathering?
That's what I'm, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we need somebody with enough balls to push it.
Are there a lack of balls out here?
Yeah. I mean, pretty much all the bigger people in town, they've all got something from somebody. So they're like happy they got this or that, so they're not pushing the envelope on
Okay, so
anything.
there's been a bunch of money slushing around though, fair to say?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So a lot of money came into town.
Yes. Well, 25 million came into town to build a new park.
Okay.
So we're
It's good for the kids, right?
We're getting, yeah, but that's where they dried out everything from the vinyl chloride and that was in the creeks.
Yeah, all
You ain't saying that's not contaminated?
all their mats that they put up on the creek to soak up the chemicals and stuff, they took to the park, rinsed them off, and then left them lay there to dry.
Okay.
So everything ran down, across the pavement, across the grass, down into the little stream that they call Sulphur Run.
Is it clean now?
They said it is, it's good, it's clean, the water's okay, but they never did anything to clean the banks and the dirt.
EPA was out here, right?
EPA is still here.
Are they doing a pretty good job, do you think? You're not happy?
First of all, $600 million for 20-mile radius is wrong.
Norfolk Southern is giving out $600 million.
Yeah,
You don't think that's enough?
nowhere
For
near.
20 miles?
Okay, so what is that for you guys then?
We don't know. You will not know what
Until
money
they're
you get until you get it in the mail.
Yeah, and then
Until
you,
the check cashes.
then you sign off on all things against them. You can never come back on them or the EPA for anything that happens to you after that. If you get some kind of illness, Oh, well, you got it.
Norfolk
Sorry.
Southern paid us, well, reimbursed us for staying away. I stayed away for almost 11 months.
You stayed away from this home.
Yes.
Yeah,
Oh, interesting.
we're in a hotel in Plungian.
They paid for that.
They reimburse you
Reimbursed us.
for your hotel, your food, your gas,
But
and
they gave us a 1099.
As income?
yeah,
Yes.
So you got taxed on that? Come on.
yeah.
Ouch.
And
So with the settlement, they're taking that, whatever anybody got paid, out of the settlement money.
so if you got $30,000 or $40,000 for your expenses and stuff while you were gone, staying out away from this, that's the first thing that comes out of your settlement check.
Wow. All right, I got this from their website. 0 to 2 miles, 70,000. 2 to 4, 45.
Right.
4 to 7, 30K.
Yes.
7 to 10 miles, 15K. 10 to 15, 500. 15 to 20, $250 each.
Yeah,
So
That's up.
up to
to.
that.
up
It's not
to
a guarantee. That's
Like
amazing.
the 70, it's not guaranteed 70.
okay, so you're within 2 miles, right?
We're
I
at
am-
1.1.
Okay,
1.01.
so if the website reads right and they do what they say here, you'd be getting 140
per household.
per household.
Yes.
Okay, I thought per person.
No.
So there's a lot of people, you're signing your rights away. You're not making anything.
So to get that money, you have to sign something with Norfolk saying, hey, you're never going to sue. If
Right.
you have some medical
Right.
condition come up in 10 years,
Yeah.
Yeah.
they have nothing to do with it, right?
Right.
Okay.
They're going to give you $10,000, up to $10,000 for medical. So he would get 10, I would get 10.
Per person.
Up to.
That's like 3 nights in a hospital.
There you go.
All right, guys.
All right.
All the best. Should I go down this way? You think's a good way to go?
You're going to run into people that ain't going to talk because they don't want to think about anything being wrong. They want to sweep it all under the covers because most of the businesses in town couldn't wait for the reporters to leave.
Oh, okay.
Because they
Okay.
didn't want the notoriety, publicity. That's what you need to get something done. You got to have a voice out there somewhere. It's got a little bit of, backing to it.
What's up, guys? Hey, how's the ice cream here?
Pretty good.
You guys from town?
Yeah.
I'm making a video on East Palestine. Anything to say? What are your thoughts on things?
It's been like on a scale of like from terrible to okay, this is a little bit okay, but
How's it now?
how's it now?
18 months later.
Aside from most of the businesses leaving town, I mean, it's
A lot of businesses left town.
Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
you got people out of their homes and everything now. Cause I just still don't trust the water. They could say and do whatever they want. I'm glad that they're trying to make somewhat of an effort, but like, I still don't trust it. And it'd probably be like that for years. I don't care what anyone tells me on that. You know?
The Arabic here, is that East Palestine? Is that what this says?
This is Farsi writing. But yeah, basically Arabic. It's Persian.
Yeah.
And all it says is love. We can fight all we want, you know. It's going to be an endless battle, but I do believe everyone's awesome. I believe there's a lot of people out in this world. I don't care what color you are, or who you are, or what you are. Everyone's awesome. Just got this few out of the group that's just ruined it for everyone. And it's been like that for years, you know what I mean? You gotta believe in it something. You know, everyone needs to come together and like at least accept, have love in it and it all. You know what I mean? Like this is our land. No matter where you're at on this earth, this is our land. You know, you gotta respect it. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's what it is.
All right, guys. Where's the park? Is it down here?
Yeah, it's just right
that's
down
the
there. You'll
entrance
see
right
the
there.
sign and you just make a left. Right in there.
All right. Do you suggest the soft serve here?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Take care, guys.
Hey, you too.
How you doing, man?
How are you?
Good. You're the boss.
Yeah.
Okay. Can I just do a small soft serve? He's the best cone maker? No.
No, is it you?
Yep,
I know
it's
it's not
me.
you. Let's see if I can.
How much did you say that was?
$2.75.
That's a great deal.
Here's that for you.
So that's East Palestine small?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Park is down here, you guys? All right, thank you. That's a small. Looks like this is all new here. And one of these little creeks. I remember the footage right after the accident. Chemicals in those creeks. All right, so NS is putting some money into this park. As you can see, zero entry swimming pool, modern playgrounds, upgraded baseball fields, basketball courts, amphitheater, community center. This was pre-NS, so a lot of this stuff's been here a while. It's actually a very nice park. So what they're gonna do, that'll be interesting to see what this is in a few years. Okay, so what's going on right now, Jen? Here, what do you guys got going on?
We're at the family reunion.
This is one family?
This isn't even half of it.
Wow.
My dad was one of 14. And then they all had at least 3, if not more, kids.
Okay, and I was talking to some of your family or friends down there.
Uh-huh.
They were telling me something that I didn't think I would hear. And then they said, hey, Jen, we'll talk on camera because they didn't want to talk on camera. Okay, so my question was, what's the situation like? What was your experience during the big event?
I mean, you know, when it first happened, of course, you know, you don't know what's going on. I live like 0.3 miles from it, so it was just down at the end of my road. And I went down there that night because from my house, I could see the fire and everything. And I went down to the end of the road, and all you saw was huge flames and everything like that. And so you didn't know what was going to happen, you know? And yeah, the chemical smell, of course, it's bad. The first month and a half, the 2 months, you did smell it. You know, like I leave early in the morning for work and I could smell it, or you'd smell it late at night. My mom's bedroom is a build-on to my house. When we turned on the furnace this past fall, she was smelling it, so we did have to get our ducts cleaned. The chemical smell was still lingering in there, but now, I mean, it's just back to normal now.
It's back to normal for you?
Yeah, you don't smell it. I don't smell anything. So
how do you think they did as far as, say, the EPA and the, I don't know exactly all the agencies that came in here, but...
Yeah, I think they, I feel like it could have been way worse if this didn't make national attention, because that forced the EPA and Norfolk and everybody else to come in and clean up. I think if it didn't make like Fox News and all of them and went nationwide, I think right now we'd be having a very different conversation.
Okay, so...
I feel like they did do a good job in cleaning up.
So overall, you're okay with the situation?
I'm okay with it. I mean, of course,
you don't want it to happen, but...
No, of course
nobody
not.
does.
And I'm thankful that nobody got hurt. You know, nobody seriously got hurt, or nobody's house caught on fire because of it. You know, but it's the uncertainty as well as what's going to happen in 5, 10 years, 20 years in our health. Do we stay here or do you go? I don't know. I feel fine. My family's fine. Nobody has any reactions, but
to be determined 5, 10, 15 years down the road. You never know.
But, you know, how do you know if it was from this or if it was from anything else that we put in our bodies or on our bodies? You know what I mean? So you don't know. I mean, it's a great place. My daughter definitely does not want to move. You know, I want to move only because this is the kind of weather that I like, you know, and I want it all year long, you know, but she doesn't want to live.
Your daughter likes it here?
Yeah, she's 12 years old. This is her right here.
Okay.
And she loves the school. She loves the people here. And I mean, it's a great place. Probably at the end of this month, all the way until October, November, this park is filled every night with kids doing sports and activities and stuff. It's very nice, very calming to come to.
Okay, with Norfolk settlement money, do you know anything about that? Have they come through yet, or that's still outstanding?
The class action's still going through. You have till August 22nd to file a claim. I actually just did mine this week. Is it enough that they're giving us? I don't know. Is it going to help me and my family? Definitely. When you think about, like, in 10 years, you know, am I going to get cancer? If I stay here, is my kid going to have, like, reproductive issues, you know, when she's, becomes an adult, wants to start a family? I don't know. And you never know going to know that. And what they're giving us is, it's nice to get, you know, obviously, but at the same time, you know, with a company that profits $1.5 billion a year, $600 million is kind of like a slap on the wrist to them, because that's profit, not what they make. It's profit over 1.5 billion. I live closer than most of the people that complain about it, and I don't smell anything.
You're probably what?
I'm like 0.3.
What's your name, ma'am?
Shelly.
Shelly, do you mind? I got the camera on both of you? Okay, so what were you saying, Shelly?
I live
She lives about a block away from me, half a block away.
and I've not had any issues.
No. I guess it does affect some people, but that was first month or two after it happened.
Is there division in town, would you say, or no?
No.
Over this topic?
No. The majority of the town people think like we do.
Really?
Yes. Because if they didn't, they'd all move out. You know what I mean?
Well, if you don't have the money to move, right, you're not going anywhere.
I don't know how they could say they didn't have the money to move. If I mean, they could sell their house, and like Norfolk was willing to pay them. Like, let's say their house was $100,000 prior to the derailment, and now they sold it for $60,000. They were going to make up that difference. So why couldn't they? Yeah.
Really? So you could have sold out.
You could have sold, and if they sold below the market value prior to February 3rd, then Norfolk was supposed to make up the difference. So why?
Do you know if that's true? Were they doing that, making up the difference?
That's what they said. I mean, that
Okay.
came out in reading material that came out to us. So they had to do it. It was in writing.
You guys are Steelers fan, but we're in Ohio.
Yeah,
What's
most
up with
fans
that?
are originally from
Most,
Pennsylvania.
yeah, and most Steeler fans are in Ohio. I mean, here in PA. There's only one that's not. That's her husband.
Wow, I wouldn't have expected that. All right, guys, short time here. Already a wide range of views. It might be one of those videos where you leave with more questions than answers, but this is my style. Getting on the ground and showing you what I come into. Had no expectations for today. More of that first story, actually. I didn't think I'd hear that story, but we're gonna run into more people and get more of the locals' voice here on the situation. How you doing, sir?
How you doing, bud?
Good. So the water down here, you're saying it's pretty clean? You can't say on camera. I totally understand. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Okay, this guy's outsourced by another company to do water samples and testing and whatever else environmentally. I didn't totally get his resume, but from his mouth, and he said he didn't want to be on camera because of company policy, like he can't be on camera. He said things are looking very clean right now in these waterways. His words, not mine. I'm just relaying the information I come into along the way. You're gonna spray paint something?
Yeah.
What are you gonna spray?
I'd probably gotta redo one of these G59 things.
G59s?
Suicide Boys.
Suicide Boys? Is that a band?
It's these two cousins from New Orleans.
Okay. Do you want me to record this? So what's going on in town, guys?
Not much.
You got a good group of buddies you hang out with?
Yeah, that's what we do most of the time. We walk around, chill under the bridge, go to the park. We got this little place up by the cemetery called Trippy Trees we hang out at.
Okay.
It's like this little flat spot, got some trees, we climb down the hill and all that.
Nice. This train, after the accident, how many days did it stop for before it was going again?
I think about a couple weeks.
It's a couple weeks?
Yeah, I think like a week after it derailed, they blew it up and then cleaned it.
Oh, okay.
We were just outside the 1 mile evacuation radius, me and my dad.
So you never had to leave?
Nah.
Okay.
Which I'm glad.
Did a lot of your buddies leave town?
Not really. I think some left for their grandparents for a couple days and came back.
Okay.
So it's not that bad here, honestly. They did all the water. They're still doing it.
Yeah, I just saw a guy down by one of those creeks.
Yeah, they're gonna be redoing something up at the park, I guess.
What about a skate park? Do you guys have one of those in town?
We used to until everybody kept trying to sue.
Why?
Because everybody got hurt on it.
But it's skateboarding.
Yeah.
It's sort of part of the sport, right? Getting hurt.
Pretty much.
See you guys.
See you. Have a good one.
It's got those innocent, great small town vibes. It's almost like a walk back to the 90s feeling here in East Palestine. And that's in a good way, as in the park situation and kids under the bridge and just being kids and spray painting something. Not telling anyone to spray paint things, but kids being kids, skateboards, and It's just a slow pace of life. Okay, so how is East Palestine these days?
Depends on who you talk to,
Depends on who you talk to.
as far as businesses and people in general. Doesn't mean necessarily.
Okay, I've noticed no consensus so far.
No. We have Facebook groups and some people get on there and it's good. I mean, I don't know. Some things are good, some things are bad.
Okay.
It depends on the person.
What about you?
There is no consensus, no.
What are your thoughts?
I actually think that, yeah, there was a lot of, I mean, we wish it didn't happen and, you know, a lot of bad came out of it, but a lot of good came to this town because of it. So.
Like what?
We got help with, we're gonna get a new park and we got, you know, they gave us money for things and I don't think it's that bad.
Okay.
But.
Is your
again,
friend in the same boat here?
Are you?
So.
So.
Life for granted.
Don't take life for granted.
That's true too. Because we weren't even home. We were on our way home when it happened. My father-in-law called us and asked where we were, and we said, we're leaving Columbiana on our way home. He said, well, I wouldn't come home. So then we got on the news and saw it. So, yeah, I mean, we were just at my in-laws and didn't think anything of it, and we're just gonna come home, and then next thing you know, we can't come home, and we came home for like 2 days and then left again, and then relocated for a month and a half to my in-laws, and the kids were still in school, and yeah.
Did you get any help financially for all the relocation? And
we did.
Was it enough?
It was.
It was.
Because we were staying with in-laws, it was. We didn't have hotel expenses or nothing.
Okay, but you got money if you needed to go to a hotel.
Correct. We
and
did.
So you could save that.
Correct. And we helped out with food and stuff while we were there. So, you know, because they didn't, that was 5 extra people. We have 3 kids.
Yeah.
That's 5 extra people they had to feed.
So you're doing okay these days?
Yes. Now we're fine. We're good. We had our air quality tested before we brought our kids home. We're good.
Do you worry at all about long-term health issues or not really?
If we were on the east side, I would say yes. But because we were on the west side and we were only here for 2 days after it happened and then we left immediately before they did that big controlled release, I'm gonna say no. But I also said you didn't know what you were breathing or drinking before it happened. So who knows?
All right, well, thank you. All the best. Good luck. You got a lot of work today. Take care.
You too.
Thank you. Nice car.
Thank you.
Can I record it?
My uncle's had it for a long time, but I just started driving and riding in it a couple months ago.
Not an easy drive, but you're in style.
As long as you're moving, you're okay.
You from town?
Unfortunately, sometimes. My kids grew up here, but we've come back and forth from here to South Carolina. So
Okay, where do you like better?
definitely South Carolina.
So how's town these days?
Town sucks. I hated it before their derailment, and I hate it worse after.
So no love for East Palestine?
No love for East Palestine. They need to do a little bit better, but it's okay. We all learn.
What do they need to do better with?
I just feel like this town's always been a town to where if you aren't a part of a certain family, or if you pretty much if you're not somebody or you don't know somebody, then you're not somebody.
All right, we're right back where we started coming into town, and no high hopes to talk to any one of these guys, but we'll try. Yeah, I'm not gonna go past that, but that's where it happened, right over there. Derailment, 18 months later, still a process. I gotta say, compared to Lahaina, what I saw in Lahaina, I mean, totally different type of disaster, but this seems like it's moved a bit quicker. All right. I just got kicked out by security. Nice lady. She knew my name somehow. I don't know if the security's that good or she's seen the content, but HEPCO, or HEPCO, not sure how it's pronounced. They're cleaning up the soil and the water. Like I said, those guys aren't gonna be able to be on camera. So that's the best I can do. Show you what that looks like. And it is a Saturday, and it looks like they're working here. Some more security, and best if I be leaving. How old did you say that shirt was?
At least 40.
Guide to your emotions. Irritated, excited, hungry. So you just look the same no matter what.
If you are at home and have a, I'm just going to say, pile of dishes in the sink that need to go
Okay.
away, but you really would rather be out on a motorcycle or a bike riding,
Okay.
say to hell with the stuff that's in the sink and get out there and do what you really want to do, because you never know what's going to happen.
So you spent a lot of time on the motorcycle?
No.
On the back of
She
one?
would if
Are you looking for a guy to come by with a motorcycle? Nice Harley?
she'd get on.
But I got your point. You're saying live.
Yes, because that's what happened to me. Everything was fine in my life and all of that. And just like that, I've got dementia and I know it.
You have dementia?
Yes,
Okay.
I do. But I have a husband that takes wonderful care of me.
Oh, great.
And my daughter.
So basically you're saying while you have your health, live life to the fullest?
Yes. Oh, yeah. Because you never know. You never know.
Have a wonderful day.
Mother.
You want to kidnap me?
And take you home is what.
Oh, wow. She's going for it. All right, just talking to this guy at Pizza Joe's. Doesn't want to be on camera. He said he only closed down for 2 days and business has been thriving because the Red Cross and all the cleanup crews are coming here for pizza because it's super close to the work being done. And here are the tracks. So he got really lucky, he said, that it didn't happen here. And instead, if you can see far out in the distance, the derailment happened there. So the train derailed right there beyond that blue building.
Right, we had video of it. You could see the sparks coming off of it right there, and then there's the,
oh, okay.
Like I don't know if you have watched any of the video, and you saw like the heated bearing going off. We had video from one of our cameras back here that picked that up, and then once that flashing went past, then you just saw this brilliant flash, like it just lit up the night, and you couldn't see, just whited out the camera.
Wow.
But so we didn't have a camera that could actually see over here, but the cars were just piled up.
And you have a welding shop here?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Well, yeah, don't trip over the steel.
This is a train, and there's...
Is that okay if I record on it?
There's...
Okay. What happened, buddy?
Explosives here on the track, and the train went over it, then it goes...
All right.
Sort of like that. Okay.
Tell him about Stamboni.
No, I did not tell him about.
What's Stamboni?
Who's
Stamboni?
He's the local TV guy from Youngstown. Came down and wanted to talk to her, and she refused
He
to go on
called me
camera.
and said, "Could we have a chat?" And I said, "Certainly." And then he came with all his cameras, and I'm like, "Turn off the cameras."
Okay, I have no camera crew.
I am a camera phobic, but I like your channel. I don't know.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, so what's your perspective of what happened? For you guys, has it been a big issue? What are your thoughts?
It happened when we weren't here. We didn't see it.
We didn't see it.
Okay.
We were at home.
Well, we could see it out our window though.
There was a lot of trauma and anxiety in terms of the unknown.
Okay.
Of how this was affecting us, and a lot to process.
Sure.
While it was happening and aftermath. But I'm just gonna say, like, when we were evacuated in the hotels, there was the news on, and there was all about East Palestine, the disaster and everything.
Sorry, I've been calling Palestine today. Does anyone say that, or they say Palestine?
Some people say Palestine. Some people
Okay,
say
I
Palestine.
apologize.
I think he says Palestine. I say Palestine.
Oh, okay. He's a Palestine guy.
It's all right.
Okay, so you're
my
in the
children,
news. You're watching the news.
We're in, the lobby at the hotel eating our breakfast at the hotel. And there's other people milling about. And there was a whole bunch of stuff about East Palestine on the news. And then there was a little blip about the earthquakes over in Turkey. I just took a moment when my kids got their attention and said, okay, we are experiencing a disaster, but that's a tragedy over there. You would have had a family who died. Your friends wouldn't have homes. Maybe you wouldn't have a home. Economy is destroyed from the earthquakes. There thousands and thousands of people died. No one died here. We are inconvenienced by having to leave our home for a week. After that little chat with my kids, I had adults coming to me and saying, thank you for that perspective. I had an adult come and say I needed that.
Okay, so you're just an optimistically minded person.
No, I'm not really.
You're an honest person. There we go. I like that.
We homeschool our children, and I just try to take every opportunity to see a bigger picture and, things from a Christian point of view. And I was just putting it in perspective for my family. We were exposed. We can't change that. If that's going to cause cancer down the road, there's nothing we can do about it. We don't know if that's going to happen or not. So.
How long were you evacuated for?
We stayed out 10 days. I stayed longer than the mandatory.
Okay, and you live close to here?
Yeah, within the mile.
Okay. And then in regards to the EPA, did they come in quickly? What are your thoughts on the government side of things?
They were here pretty quick. They were involved.
There was so much going. Like they had security. They had this place locked down like crazy. So once it kind of settled out, then you kind of got a feel of the lay of the land. Like where was the EPA the whole time? Eventually, their trailer was sitting like right here.
Okay.
And we saw them, every morning for 9 months.
They leased space from Dan.
But where they were in their first few days, there was National Guard going around and evacuating everybody because they were going to do that controlled burn and all that stuff. So it was a really chaotic. There was police, there was army people. It was a crazy thing.
And news, media were everywhere.
I bet. So I come like a year and a half after the event.
Yeah.
That's my style.
That's good.
Because no one else is around. The fireworks are over, and I just want to get the dust settles. What's going on? So EPA, you had good experience overall with them. There was no issues, or you thought they did their job well, or hard to say, hard to know.
It's hard to say. But based on the reporting, they put out a little newsletter. But what they say in there is what they did. Then they did their job. And one of the things that early on people started to complain about was where's the federal government? Why isn't FEMA here and stuff like that? That was one of the things that I heard. I don't know. I'm not an expert on it, but they said that if FEMA gets involved, then Norfolk Southern's not on the hook for all the damage. Norfolk Southern is a huge company. They probably have an entire floor in some office building somewhere dedicated to what if this happens right here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it wasn't like they weren't ready for it. They didn't know what to do. So they immediately deployed. They had people. They were moving the cars. That immediately, like I said, they laid down a piece of track and they had trains running. And then it was sort of then the EPA came in and said, okay, obviously that's not good enough. We got to clean this up properly. And I don't know Alan Shaw. I don't know the people that are in charge of Norfolk Southern, but it doesn't seem to me like they thought that they were going to put down tracks and nobody was going to notice and they were going to get away with it.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
I think they knew that was coming, but it's we can move some trains here and trying to unsnarl, because I guess it created a pretty big mess logistically as far as them getting the freight moved for their customers. Because these two lines here, I don't know if you notice how many trains go down here. We haven't seen one.
It's been busy today.
But it's really busy usually.
In the midst of all the unknown in the aftermath, there was a lot of misinformation that was hard to pick through and just discern what was real, what was true, what really affects us or not.
Do you think any media organization came in and did that what is real, what is true approach, or do you think they came in to
they like a big story. They'll take anything that's dramatic and go with it.
Okay.
Yeah, even people that you would talk to directly and you would tell them the story, the way that we experienced, the way that we saw it, they'd go out and then their story would come out and it would be, oh, you know, it would be the opposite of what you told them the actual experience here, like literally at ground zero was. So it's like that was not what they wanted to hear.
I don't think I've watched absolutely any mainstream media since this happened. And like there's that's a waste of life to watch that, because if they do everywhere else that they did here. Kids have iPads. They're not allowed to go on YouTube or Safari, like the internet, unless they're near us, like in the room with us, and they say, hey,
No TikTok?
No.
They've never been on.
No YouTube?
No. Well, we have a couple times with them.
Instagram?
No, they're not on Instagram. They have Messenger kids with their cousins, so they can chat with their cousins.
And some of her friends.
Okay.
That's it.
Most of our friends are like over 30 minutes away.
Do you feel like you're missing out, or you're glad you don't have the devices to stare at all day long?
Both?
I do not think that I'm missing out. I'm glad that I don't have that stuff, junk. I don't know.
Overstimulation?
Yeah.
It's funny when kids are talking about all these memes and stuff. We're like, what? You're crazy.
Are you a Swiftie?
I have no idea.
Okay. You're totally out of pop culture, just like me.
Yes.
Coming up, Conrad?
Gonna go up, Conrad?
Conrad, if you're taking over the business next year, you're gonna have to know about ladder climbing.
It's all right, Conrad. Dad will help you.
I gotcha.
Wait, you're not.
You see the piling, the steel piling right there?
Okay. Yep.
You can see between the buildings.
Right after the building, yep.
So they had to dig, I don't know how deep they dug, but it was pretty deep. And that they had to put all that piling in to hold the wall, you know, hold the dirt back while they backfilled.
Okay.
And did all that. But there was a pile of dirt from that excavator boom over there, you know, covering this whole area.
So a pretty big operation?
Oh, it was huge. It was huge. This tank, this blue tank over here, that's all brand new. Like they built that and all that stuff in there behind that for this cleanup.
What's in the tank?
Water. They would take groundwater from this site. So they weren't allowed to take any water off this, let any water run off the site.
How many employees have been down here? Tough to say.
It's tough to say, but hundreds. Like during the height of the thing, there were hundreds every day.
Okay, and they work on Saturdays?
Yeah, they would work around the clock.
Okay.
I mean, it's slowed down a lot.
Gotcha.
Since then. There's our camera. You can see our little camera up there.
Oh, right, on the top there.
Yeah, the lonely little...
They didn't like that.
They didn't like it. So the smoke wasn't blowing up here, it was just going...
It would go up and away. I mean, it was going, like, you know, you can tell what the prevailing wind is here. It's pretty much from there, and it goes that way.
Okay.
Everything here was coated with ash from the control.
After the controlled burn.
And the controlled burn, is there a consensus on that? Was that a good idea to do or not, or who knows?
Who can tell? Like, what the NTSB just came out and said it wasn't necessary, but, I mean...
Whether it was good or idea or not, I don't think they consulted enough people.
I should show you the drone shots that I have from right after it happened. I took my drone up and went over, and you can just see just rail cars look like toys just piled.
We have homesteading, we just have our gardens here. I was really concerned about growing food here and what impact the chemicals had and how, whether it was safe to eat food grown here. And the media was telling the world it's unsafe to eat any agriculture from the area. They were even saying like 50 miles out, don't even buy any meat or produce from anywhere near the derailment. That got me fired up because that was gonna kill small farms in this area.
So wouldn't a 50-mile radius, wouldn't it depend what way the winds were going? Like if they're going east, it would have more credibility.
They're not trying to be smart on the media when they're giving you information. Anyway, I have tried to sell some produce and whatnot and plants. I have a greenhouse and I sell starts in the spring, and it has impacted my own small scale sales. And I'm honest. When people ask, when they see I'm in East Palestine, they ask, how close are you to the spill? And I'm 600 feet. So I have to tell people.
That's your greenhouse right there.
Tiny little greenhouse. So if it's affecting me at that small scale, imagine how it's affecting small farms in the areas surrounding us.
You're happy with how the EPA has been with you?
Yeah, I mean, they were listening, and they took my requests and did something about it, did research. And at the beginning, I was really skeptical they would even call me back. So.
And they did?
They did, yeah.
You met with some of these guys?
Yeah.
They were actually on this property. They rented Dad's driveway.
They bought lemonade for my kids' lemonade stand.
Like nobody else was allowed on
last
Taggart
summer,
Street except for the EPA, so they were pretty much our only customers.
And all of Norfolk.
contractors.
All the
They had to
contractors.
have it.
So you had a lemonade stand for the EPA and
I said,
contractors?
let's try this. I had the girls set up a lemonade stand over here on the lawn. I knew it was a big risk for them because it's not open to the public. The only potential customers are from the cleanup, right? What did you make, like $200 that day?
It was great.
$200 in lemonade sales.
Well, these guys, they say
They kept
a lemonade.
saying, keep the change, keep the change.
Here's a 20, keep the change. Like, this is not giving my kids a realistic, view of business.
But they were buying a lot.
Yeah.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, that was an interesting day and definitely not what I expected coming into it. And keep in mind, that was just me in town for one day. Hello, sir. For one day, and those were the people I ran into naturally. If I came a different day, I would run into different people. I'm not here to tell you what is or isn't in East Palestine, just to capture the views of the locals. To get the true story, you need to talk to 5,000 locals. That's how many are here, right? 5,000? Yeah, roughly?
Just a little bit less.
A little bit less? Okay. So walk away from this, maybe with more questions than answers. Watch other content, read other content, ask questions, stay curious. Always wonder where the incentives come from, the money, why is there a certain narrative out there? The basic stuff. Stay curious, and hope you enjoyed that. That was interesting for me. And for those that do have health issues from this incident, or do feel like your stories weren't told, I did my best to talk to everyone I could on the streets today, and that's just the way the cookie crumbled here today on Saturday, East Palestine. All right, guys, thanks for coming along on that journey. Until the next one.